Links in the description. If you do like the video, if you like the topic, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. You might find this topic interesting. You might not find it interesting, but I'm going to read through it regardless. China develops artificial intelligence prosecutor that can press charges with 97% accuracy. My first comment before I forget is that I don't think we necessarily need to believe what China say in terms of their statistics when they talk in regards to their technology. They may be prone to exaggeration, but that's what they've said at this point. 97% accuracy. Let's look at the article. China has developed an artificial intelligence prosecutor that can charge people with crimes with more than 97% accuracy. The machine can file a charge based on a verbal description of the case and was built and tested by the Shanghai Pudong People's Procuratorate, the biggest and busiest district prosecution office in China. The artificial intelligence would allow human prosecutors to ease their workload and allow them to only focus on the more complex cases. The project's lead scientist, Professor Shi Yong, said. The system can run on a standard desktop computer and would press charges based on 1,000 traits from the human-generated case description text. It was trained using 17,000 real-life cases from 2015 to 2020 and is able to identify and press charges for the 8 most common crimes in Shanghai. So I'm just going to interject on the article there. I'm going to say, just to highlight that it is focusing seemingly on the 8 types of crime. So it's specializing to some degree. It's focusing on these 8 types of crime as opposed to exposing itself to all types of crimes. I don't know how many types of crimes there are. Thousands, I would think. I'll also say that 17,000 real-life cases to me seems like quite a small data set. I don't know anything about this type of thing, but I would think that's quite a small data set, not a very large number of cases to really analyze. If it is true and fair to say that it has 97% accuracy, then great. But I would have thought that it would need more than 17,000 actual cases to be able to analyze, to be able to develop such a high degree of accuracy. So anyway, let's go back to the article. So it was trained using 17,000 real-life cases to identify and press charges for the 8 most common crimes in Shanghai. These include provoking trouble, a term used to stifle dissent in China, credit card fraud, gambling crimes, dangerous driving, theft, fraud, intentional injury, and obstructing official duties. Soon, the artificial intelligence prosecutor will be able to recognize more types of crime and file multiple charges against one suspect once it's upgraded. One prosecutor in Guangzhou says he has concerns about the new technology. He said, here's a quote, "The accuracy of 97% may be high from a technological point of view, but there will always be a chance of mistake. Who will take responsibility when it happens? The prosecutor, the machine, or the designer of the algorithm?" He added that many human prosecutors will not want computers interfering in their work. Here's a quote, "AI may help detect a mistake, but it cannot replace humans in making a decision. There are also fears it will fail to keep up with changing social standards and could be weaponized by the state." Yes, I would imagine that it would be extremely easy to weaponize such a technology. You could just fiddle with the software, with the algorithm. If the government wanted, for example, just off the top of my head, if it wanted to find a very high number of people guilty, or a specific person they want to find guilty, they'd be able to very easily claim that the computer, the software, the algorithm, the artificial intelligence declared that the suspect was guilty, when in actual fact it could have been a predetermined sentence. I would imagine it would be very open to corruption. But, what do I know? I don't really know too much about this. Maybe some level of reasoning is provided by the AI when it provides a verdict. Perhaps it gives some level of explanation, reference to certain facts that it based its decision upon. I don't know. So maybe it is able to protect itself against corruption. To wrap up the article, the Chinese government is increasingly relying on artificial intelligence to boost its productivity, with machines already in place to crack down on corruption and increase state control. So there's that article. Like I said, you might find this interesting. You might find it really boring. I find it quite interesting. I'm a fan of Elon Musk. I'm a fan of Tesla. Tesla are doing their best to lead in regards to artificial intelligence. Maybe they are leading in AI, maybe they're not. But either way, for quite a number of years, they've been working on auto self-driving, which is artificial intelligence based. And it's extremely complicated, as you can imagine. When you're driving on the streets, there's an infinite amount of objects to watch out for, an infinite amount of potential dangers which could appear in a moment's notice. So for Tesla's artificial intelligence auto self-driving technology to be effective, it needs to be extremely good, and it's based on, I believe, millions, perhaps billions of cases or micro cases that it analyzes. And as far as I understand, Tesla's self-driving AI is just one aspect of general AI that Tesla is attempting to develop, that Elon Musk is attempting to develop. And general intelligence, you can look it up yourself to get a better understanding, but my layman's understanding is that AI general intelligence would be essentially referring to an artificial intelligence that can apply itself really to anything, really to any aspect of modern life. So this AI discussed in this article is a very much focused AI on crimes, and so far 8 specific types of crimes, whereas general intelligence would be the AI itself, the software, the hardware, the algorithms, whatever it would encompass, would be able to be applied really to any subject. Crime, accounting, making rocket ships, whatever it happens to be. Artificial general intelligence at a high level will really surpass all of humanity's intelligence and ability and skill set, and we may be extremely close to that. I've gone on a bit of a ramble there. So what's my take on this China's AI prosecutor? Well, my take on it, as I've said, is first off, I would doubt whether or not it's as good as China has said it is. If we take it on face value, if it really is that accurate, if it really is that effective, if it does have a 97% accuracy rate, and I'm not sure how that could even be determined, but if it is highly accurate, then absolutely it should be used. Absolutely, I guess you could still fear it, but even whilst fearing it, you should utilize it. We can't ignore the fact that humans are prone to mistakes. I mean, I would imagine that there's no way that human prosecutors have 97% accuracy. They'll be much, much lower than that. So to me, this is a good thing. It would reduce the workload involved in the legal system. That's a good thing. I know people get upset about people losing their jobs, but if it's ultimately inefficient jobs, if the job can be done effectively by AI, a calculator or whatever it happens to be, then go with the technology. That's the thing to do if the technology is proven. And if it isn't proven, then, let it sit in the oven for a little longer until it does get properly cooked. So that's probably my comments on the subject. I'll also say that my understanding is that AI is just round the corner. Very much so, just round the corner. I think we're going to see mass implementation within 5 years, within 10 years. It might well be China that's leading the way, and they may be leading the way somewhat foolishly. They may, I can't think of the right word, but they may bring in certain AIs which aren't fully competent. They may bring in AIs for certain aspects, let's say legal, whatever else, that does make too many mistakes, that does cause problems, that does get things wrong. The West may be a little bit more cautious. They may only implement AI into the real world, or at least known to us, once it does have better security, better efficiency, better reliability, I guess. But it is going to happen regardless. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, many industries are going to be hit over the head by AI. It's really going to revolutionize everything. If you ask me, and I'm going to get political here on a channel which isn't that political, but if we're going to bring in, if they are going to usher in communism to the Western world, if we're going to have a great reset, it's going to be heralded by technology, and AI is the leader of that. So anyway, there's some random thoughts. Hopefully you did find this interesting. If you did, feel free to make a comment and see if a conversation can ensue.